went by my grandma's house yesterday and found a few things that reminded me of her, like the shirt and the saying that she had in her living room. Now, this saying is going to tell you a lot about my grandma and the kind of person she was. It says, "I gave up jogging, my thighs run together, and I caught my undies on fire." That, in a nutshell, is my wonderful grandma. Though her smile is gone forever, and her hand I cannot touch, I still have so many memories of the one I love so much. Her memory is now my keepsake, which with I'll never part. God has her in His keeping, and I have her in my heart. Our parents give us life. Our grandparents give us a sense of who we are and where we came from. As we remember Grandma today, each of us has our own memories of who she was and how she touched our lives. Some of you will remember my Grandma Jo as the best bail bonds agent in the world. And some of you will remember enjoying her favorite hobby, painting and reading romance novels. She was many different things to many different people, and I think that's part of what made her so amazing. To me, she was Grandma, the name she gave herself when she became a grandma for the 4th time, because only legends are born in July. I remember my grandma as the matriarch of our family, whose greatest responsibility was to civilize us, give us culture, and instill in us the security and confidence that comes from knowing you're special. It was a job that she took pride in and ownership of. I'm sure everyone here has memories much like mine. They're good memories, something we'll always have to cherish. It isn't often in our lives that we come across someone so special that person stays with you forever. Grandma is, was, and will forever be that kind of special to me. The kind of love Grandma felt for us was love without condition. She may not have approved of everything we did, may not have liked some of the decisions we made. She did lecture, but she never judged. She just kept loving us, letting us know that she was there, and if we ever needed her, we could count on her to listen, to comfort, and to help. It's the little things that seem to stand out the most. That big smile she had when we talked, her white and silver hair, that soft but satisfying hug she gave, the feeling of unconditional love she gave in every kiss, the sound of her sweet voice, and that sensational feeling she gave when she scratched her back. My grandma had fingernails for days, and she was the ultimate head scratcher. Over the past few weeks, I couldn't help but think about all the fun memories I had growing up. One lecture many of us grandkids will remember was her telling us to slow down while eating. In her infamous words, "If someone comes in and tries to steal your food, I will beat the mess out of them." Now this statement was more aimed towards me and my brother because we used to inhale food. My grandma loved to smile. She loved sitting on that front porch and complaining about all the noisy traffic. She loved to read her romance novels and take the occasional nap on that front porch swing. My grandma also loved to paint. Her love for painting grew over the years, so much so that my grandpa had to build her a gazebo. Her and her best friend, Miss Carol, were young Da Vinci's at heart. She loved painting, and painting was a way for her to express herself. At the age of 4 and up, every grandchild got to experience the adventures of rambling with Grandma. And here's how the day would start. We would eat stale bread that Pop toasted at 5 a.m. in the morning. Then followed with, "Hurry up, it's time to go." My grandma loved herself a good yard sale. She would often say, "I'll give you half or a quarter for the item." She was always hunting for a bargain. After we had visited all the yard sales, We would go to her favorite restaurant in the Kmart store and get ice cream. I'm not talking about any old ice cream. I mean the big hot fudge sundae in the adult-sized glass. This was an experience we all got to have with Grandma, except for Ariane. You see, Ariane came along later in life, but I have to be honest with every person in here. She was the favorite of all the grandchildren. She had a bond with Grandma like no other before her. Those two were inseparable from one another. Ariane visited Grandma at least one night a week for the past 10 or so years. Grandma loved watching her sing and dance. And as time went on, Ariane found a new way to bond with Grandma. She took up that same love of painting that Grandma did. And moving on to my list of people, I had to tell everyone a story about my Uncle Bubba. You see, I learned a few choice words from my grandma, and here's why. She would tell us the story of how my Uncle Bubba learned his real name. You see, Uncle Bubba thought his first name was Damon and his last name was Bubba for the first 5 years of his life. Grandma would tell us the story every chance she got when we were kids.
This is the best one I've ever been to.
Well, that needs an amen behind it, though.
Yeah.
To my mom. Grandma meant the world to you. And I'm so happy you visited her every Thursday night for the longest time. When me and Pop would go fishing, he would always talk about how happy Grandma was on Thursday nights because you were coming to see her. So, Mom, don't cry tears of sorrow for Grandma. You must shed tears for her, shed tears of joy, because you kept your childhood promise that every mom makes her kids take, and that's to visit in their later years. And to all my grandma's kids, all of Grandma's kids stood by her during her darkest hours. You each held her hand through the saddest moments. And you held her together and didn't fall apart. All four of you are now the glue that holds us together through this process. Be proud sons and daughters because you kept your promise to take care of your mom when she couldn't. And to Pop, you have the greatest honor of all. You're the only person that got to call her baby. I hope to one day have the same love you and Grandma shared. You are her knight in shining armor, the love of her life, the man that makes her smile. The love you two shared will never fade. It will be ingrained in everything you do from this moment on. Your baby may be gone in body, but her spirit will always live on. We all hope for the same love you and Grandma have, the kind of love that isn't defined. I'm forever grateful that God put the both of you in my life. In Proverbs chapter 31, it talks about, it defines a good woman. It says, a good woman is hard to find, worth far more than diamonds. Never spiteful, she treats him generously all her life long. Charm can mislead and beauty soon fades. The woman to be admired and praised is the woman who lives in the fear of God. My grandma was a woman of God. She believed in the Lord and gave herself to him. And I know for a fact that she is walking the streets of gold at this moment. She is singing and dancing on the streets without any oxygen tanks for breathing and without fatigue. My grandma is one of the greatest women I know. And I feel honored that God chose me to be her grandchild. And in closing, I'd like to read this poem. If flowers grow in heaven, Lord, then pick a bunch for me. Place them in my grandma's arms tell her they're from me. Tell her that I love and miss her. And when she turns to smile, place a kiss upon her cheek and hold her for a while. Thank you.